Hello, my rosy readers. Welcome back to my channel. Today's book review is going to be about another one of those, Nancy Drew-like mysteries, if you will. Except this one has a bit of a color theme to the books. And that's probably another reason why I was drawn to this. I was, looking at books for Clue, because they're books for Clue. They're books for Clue. That's going to be another review for another time. But, part of this is also, my apologies, my voice has been giving me a little bit of problems since I've been talking a lot at work. So, it's like the sinus congestion and allergies, and then talking a lot. It's just been crazy. Anyways, so back to this book, this review. I was looking for something color related, and I found a whole bunch of other books that, had characters, like Encyclopedia Brown, that had names to do with colors, I should say. Characters that had names to do with colors. We had Red Randall, Encyclopedia Brown, and I was thinking, I wanted to do sort of like a mystery that involved the Clue characters, and I was originally thinking like the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, and they each have a character or like one of the Clue characters that they, be button heads with, and so I was like, oh, this would be so cool, how the two opposites, like Miss Scarlet against this character. They're button heads. Miss Scarlet is, Miss Scarlet and her opposite are both beautiful, but Miss Scarlet is particularly vain and, will do anything to get her way, while her opposite is just naturally pretty, and yeah, she knows it, but she's not going to be completely vain about it. She's just like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty, but it's like, I'm not in Hollywood kind of pretty. Why are you so worried about it, kind of a thing. And that's what I was kind of wanting to do, so that's why I was originally thinking like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, and I was going to think of bringing in like 3 other characters, so you have the six people all together, 3 boys, 3 girls each side, and they just, have to, they kind of duke it out against each other. So Miss Peacock would have an opposite, Miss White would have an opposite, Mr. Mustard, Mr. Green, and Mr. Plum, they'd all be opposites. So, as I thought more and more about it, I was like, okay, Nancy Drew doesn't quite fit with the idea that I really had. I still wanted to do that, to have other characters like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys who would, kind of be doing that, to be the opposites of these Clue characters. And, they'd be the ones to solve, because it's like, how you're playing the game of Clue and you've got the 6 characters. So I wanted to do something with that, but, instead of having you playing as those 6 characters, you got this other set of 6 characters that you can pick instead, and you go with that. So we'd have the white character, the gray character, stuff like that. So technically the colors are going to be the same in a way. It's just who their actual opposites are is going to be different. So they're not going to be, Peacock isn't going to be the opposite of the blue character. That type of a thing. Because the way these characters have set up, and this is the first book in this group of characters that I'm doing a review for, so I'm going to talk about it. Even though technically I've already started with the Red Randall series, since that's going to be like the main guy who's going to deal with them for the most part. I'll link the books to that I will post the link in the description below. Sorry, I'm like trying to go so fast because I'm so excited about this. But I haven't even talked about the book yet. I'll get there. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to do a group of characters. Like I said, the way I was taking Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys ended up going in a different direction than that, and which is why I started looking for other characters with which to do this. So I actually did find some characters. So, and then I will be posting reviews to the first books of, or at least a book, because I don't have the first book in all of them. This is one of those that I do have the first book in the series for. Thank goodness. Actually, the first book in the series is a lot easier to find than the other books in the series. I've been actually having a bit of a problem. But of the books that I really wanted, I've been able to finally get. So I'm just super happy that I actually was able to get them. And I will post, those reviews at a later date. Not right now, hasn't finished reading them yet. I'm working on the second book, and I've got a whole bunch of books to actually read. I'm trying to finish catching up this, with the move. It threw me behind and work and everything. So it's been crazy, to say the least. So, hopefully I can get back on schedule with that and, get writing done and all that. But anyways, so I was thinking of having this group of 6 characters that you would have. And the 3 guys, I already mentioned 2 of them. Actually, Encyclopedia Brown, I wasn't quite sure about at first. It's like I kind of wanted him. And at the same time, I also didn't, because I got like these couple of other groups so Encyclopedia Brown is like the younger kids, right? This is going to be aimed at more teens and young adults, because I think young adults 18 up, okay? 18 to, say 25, just to say. I'll give it a clearer number. That's young adult to me. So, the Clue series is aimed at that, so I was like, oh, do I really want to age up Encyclopedia Brown for this? So I, pushed him to the side for now, and, figured I'd come back to that later. And then, let's see. So yeah. So I put him to the side. I was like, I might just not worry about him. I could come up with a different character. And then I found a bunch of other ones. Sandy Steele, I was like, that's a good color name. Beverly Gray, definitely another good, color name. She's definitely going to be Mrs. Peacock's opposite. I can guarantee you that right now. She's the most definite of the group. She's definitely going to be Mrs. Peacock's opposite. Her color, I think, is green, if I remember correctly. Because I did have them, color coordinated, obviously. Red Randall, it was, red. Keeping with their colors. For the most part. Sandy and Beverly obviously are gonna have their colors, but I wanted the 6, So, Beverly's wearing green as well as gray. So green is technically her color. Sandy's is blue. But Beverly is definitely Peacock's opposite. Hands down, she's obviously Peacock's opposite. And then you've got Violet Strange, who is another detective, is actually more... If you've heard of the Miss Clue series of games, she actually fits that a little bit better, because she's a little bit more high society. I mean, you would technically think she should be Mrs. Peacock's opposite. Well, actually, I think she should be Mrs. Peacock's opposite, but, because the thing is, we got Mrs. Peacock and Miss Scarlet, and Beverly and Violet technically could be opposites of either one of those. Violet obviously is going to have her color, purple, so she's the purple piece. And And then, like I said, Robert Red Randall, he's the red piece. And then Sandy Steele is blue, so he's the blue. I'm thinking Encyclopedia, not that I'm thinking of actually going and age him up, because I did age up another child character named Robbie Hoenig. I've already posted the review for that book series earlier, along with the link to the book that I have published on Wattpad in the description below. For that review, I will post the link to that and also in the description below. But once I aged him up, everything just clicked into place. And I think the same thing is happening with Encyclopedia Brown. I think he definitely needed to be aged up, because the way his mysteries work, it just doesn't, because the other group I had was like, the Boxcar Children and the Bobbsey twins, like the families. I was also thinking like the Happy Hollisters. I haven't read the books yet, so I can't exactly say for sure if they're gonna work. So, they've got their group, and I was thinking Encyclopedia would be part of that group. However, he still didn't it just didn't quite fit. Because I was thinking he'd work best with the Boxcar Children and the Bobbsey twins, because they do have the 3 investigators and Trixie Belden. They're off on their own little thing. So I was thinking, Encyclopedia with one of those. But like I said, once I aged up Robbie Hoenig, I started thinking, okay, maybe I should age up Encyclopedia Brown. And once I started thinking about that and aging him up, because I was thinking him, Sally, and Peaky Plumber will be the main trio to come and to solve these mysteries. That's like, the main trio. So I was thinking, okay, we've got Encyclopedia Brown, there's Pinky Plumber, Sally's the only one who technically doesn't have a color theme, but not all of the others have friends who fit the color theme either, so I figured, just leave it at that. Sally can kind of be the odd one, but she is supposed to be, kind of the odd one already. Anyways, so once I started thinking about that, I was like, okay, so there we go. I was thinking, wait, so I've got like 2 color pieces left. That is correct. It is yellow and white that are left. And so I figured Encyclopedia Brown would get yellow, which leaves, we're finally getting to the book, Connie Blair as white. As the white piece. She's not going to be she might actually end up being Miss White's opposite as well in the long one, but she's definitely getting the white color piece, even though, so the first book in this series is The Clue in Blue. I want to keep thinking that Blair means white, and I don't think it quite does. I want to say yes, and I also want to say no, because I kept looking it up. It's like white just fits her, if you will. So, Connie Blair is the final one, and once I found hers, that's when everything else started falling into place, and I end up deciding to use some of her mysteries, or at least will be using some of her mysteries, later on, because they just fit. But anyways, Connie Blair, as I was reading her book, she is kind of like Nancy in a way. She has a twin sister, she visits her aunt in New York City, and all this stuff. She goes to work with her aunt, and she solves the mystery there, obviously, and the color theme, obviously the main clue that it deals with is blue. So the blue clue is the final piece that, that she needs to kind of help solve the mystery together. Or at least, no, I think it actually starts around the mystery. There are a couple of male interests, which I found interesting, but male love interests. But unlike Nancy Drew, I don't think she really tends to lean towards one or the other, even though both are obviously interested in her. And of course, again, I've only read like this book, and I've started on the second book, so I can't exactly say, oh yeah, she's definitely leaning towards more than one or the other. But both of them are pretty obvious in this book that they're both interested in her. And it's definitely a lot of fun, I think. And I know I talked more about my idea with this story, but it got me excited because I wanted to write this fanfiction really, really bad. So definitely check out Connie Blair's series, because it's really, really helping me. It's excited me to get this series going, and it's definitely got some influences with the Clue and all that. So yes, definitely check it out. Thanks for coming by. Have a great day. God bless.